Thing on yet?
It is on. So welcome everyone. We're doing another top three from Edge of Eternities. You got myself, Pensfan, Seragyn, and Spoon as always.
Hello. Good talk, Spoon.
Yeah, so we're gonna kick it off with fuck it. Make Spoon go first.
Hey, what's up, guys?
All right, Spoon. So we got Spoon's number three card
Well,
is
let's go.
Moonlit Meditation. 2 any 1 blue. It's an enchantment aura. Enchant artifact or creature you control. The first time you would create one or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many tokens that are copies of the enchanted permanent. That sounds kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, this is on the list solely to go into my mirror box list that I'm building um, with like just ridiculous stuff that no one should play, like 16 SIDS, and it's
That's a good idea.
in yeah, like so. Um, Basically, like this with mirror box means you can put it on basically any creature or artifact, even if it's legendary. Because like Mirrorbox says, like it, copies of legendary creatures don't get the legendary tag. Um,
Mm.
I want to test this in Vivi because making a bunch of Vivis with this would be completely ridiculous
Sounds like a
and make people
Murkime.
just want to install the game. So, yeah, it does.
It's
Um,
definitely a crime
the
What
against
other
about
humanity.
throwing that?
the big thing is you have to
I was
the
gonna say,
big
what
issue
about?
isn't the card itself. It's creating a token. It's creating a token generator. I've been using lands to do that. Like there's a land that makes like a 1/1 fish or
Mhm.
whatever, like for 4 costs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of do that with Vivi, but like doing it in like a more fair deck, like you just don't have the power to do that and to protect yourself and to get units down and stuff like that. So it's just really slow, but it's a fun card to play with.
Yeah, I've been using it in standard in a Simiform deck, and it's pretty gross.
I've not used it, so I'm.
So the nice thing in using it with the
Yeah, so
Simiform Synthesis deck is when you make the copy, you make a Simichrome, which then procs again to make you two more tokens, two more giant ass constructs.
yeah, I seen a list like that with that for standard, and um, yeah, and like they only like need to play like one or two because like there's like you can like tutor up with something I don't know in standard, and so it's probably really good in constructed. I played against somebody who had it in draft, and it was in Simic also, and they kind of went crazy. I beating them just because like they just kept running out of power. And, so like
Jesus.
they got land screwed, and so I won.
Hmm.
But I've also used it to copy all of the exile artifacts from White, because White
Yeah,
has
it's a
tons
fun
of
card.
token
If you see
generators.
it in draft or in sealed, you could. I would try and build around it. It's
Mhm.
Gross. Alright, let's take a look at your number two card then. It is Scour for Scrap. 3 of any blue. It's an instant. Choose one or both. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Seems pretty solid tutor. Or hey, they're gonna you know blow up one of my artifacts. I can, or no, I'm sorry, they already blew up an artifact. I can get it back, right? Especially, I guess, especially like an artifact creature, right? They kill an artifact creature.
yeah, I love this card. This is a tutor. Yeah,
It's like a nice tutor with a little extra spice to it, you know. And it is Ricky Bobby Fast, folks. So,
It's nice. You can play it at the end of your turn, or at the end of their turn. Sorry.
yep. Search for the search for the card on, like you said, at the end of their turn. Comes to you. Bam, play said card. Because it puts it in your hand, which is also nice. It does not put it on the top of your deck, it puts it into your hand. So that's Scour for Scrap, right? Spoons number 1. Boom. This fucker. Tannuk. Memorial Ensign. He's a 1 any, 1 red, 1 green. He's a creature, and his landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, Tannuk deals 1 damage to each opponent. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, draw a card. And he's a 2/4 creature as well, so he's annoying as shit. I don't know what else to say about this card because, of course, green decks do nothing but just shit lands, so you know.
Yeah, and there's also for standard and stuff, the new vehicle that you sacrifice a land and play 2 lands from your deck. So it's pretty easy to trigger him.
Oh god.
And
yeah.
man, does he run away with the game.
Yep, because you constantly get pinged, and they're constantly drawing more cards, which are probably more fucking lands for them to play. So yeah.
And red also has that really, really nice ability where they can have a lot of different cards that increase the damage done from pings, non-combat damage.
Yes, that's true.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, we're on Tannuk now, right, Spoon?
Okay, yeah. Uh, people when I picked the card, I didn't know that people were gonna figure out how to use it so quick, but like they have. Uh, so yeah, it's fun. There's because like in green um you get a bunch of stuff that you can like just play lands and in this set, you get a bunch of cards that have the landers, where you can pay 2 and play a basic land from your deck. Um, and you can do that at fast speed, so you can get 1 or 2 of them down. And if you have the power to do it, you can just you know you can trigger them. You can trigger those like on your opponent's turn. Um, get your draw and your life gain and stuff like that on there. And then on your turn, you can play like a fetch land or or play a sorcery that lets you play a couple of play an extra land or 2, and he can just go crazy. And like in modern, there's like ridiculous stuff you can do with him. Like you can play him with like Primeval Titan,
Yeah, and
it's not There's just it's just he's gonna be a problem.
He's
he
definitely
already is.
He already is, yeah. Like I
But
said, green shit's
the only nice thing that kind of keeps him in check ish is that the draw only happens once a turn.
Yeah, I'm glad you.
Yeah, but he's still
even then,
pinging.
it's still...
Even if you play 3 lands, you get pinged 3 times.
And you draw a card.
And 1 card, but still.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying that you want to try and create
the lander tokens, right?
Yeah.
Also,
and that's what I'm saying. That but
like
that's what I'm saying. That the broken, like if you really want to break them, you have to figure out how to do it on your opponent's surface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, Fabled Passage, that goes at fast speed. All the sacrifice lands do at instant.
He's gross. Bottom line, Tannuk, gross. So that's Spoons. We'll go Seragyn next here. Seragyn's number 3 is Entropic Battlecruiser. 3 of any, 1 black. It's an artifact.
Let them play them, have some fun.
Yeah, it's an artifact spacecraft. So with the spacecraft, which are a new thing in the set, you station it. Basically, you tap a unit, and its power stations and once you hit the thresholds on it, you get abilities. Like, so for this one, 1+, whenever an opponent discards a card, they lose 3 life. Seems okay. And it's 8+, it's a flying, it becomes a creature, flying, death touch. Whenever this spacecraft attacks, each opponent discards a card. Each opponent who cannot loses 3 life. And it's a, at that point, it becomes a 3, like I said, 3/10 flying death touch spacecraft thingy. So
first, it has a big ass, like a giant ass.
It's thick. He's thick.
And second, that last ability is nice because then even if they have no cards, they still take the extra damage. So when it swings in, it's a potential 6 and a guaranteed 3.
And I do like playing like hand disruption with black. So this absolutely has a home there.
It's also correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not legendary, correct?
No, it just says artifact spacecraft. It does not say it is
Right.
legendary. So you could, if you're playing some of Spoon's,
So it's another card,
shit, you could make multiple copies.
or just play multiple of them in the mono black discard decks, which are already pretty strong.
Yeah.
And so now, on top of talent dealing 2 damage every turn, you have this dealing more damage.
Yep.
And you're just constantly whittling down, and it doesn't matter that's only a 3/10, only 3/10, but only 3 attack.
Yeah, but it still has flying.
Got its reach, and that deck, the only thing it lacked was reach.
Now it kind of has it with a flyer, its own flyer.
Right.
So it's I think
it also tend to stall out if you either had a bunch of cards, or if your opponent had a bunch of cards in hand, like really good draw, or if your opponent had no cards, you kind of stall out because you wouldn't get any of those discard triggers.
True.
As far as the station mechanic goes, it's a little slow, but getting that initial one off of it is just a 1 power creature.
Yeah, it's nothing.
So that's easy to do. The turn it comes out. And I've actually found station works really, really nice. Like it's actually much easier to get off than people think.
So yeah, I think it's a solid one. You got any words of wisdom on that, Spoon? Spoon with us. Is he awake? Spoon. See him there? He's not saying anything.
It is 8 a.m. for him.
That is true. He didn't have his coffee, I don't think, yet. Maybe next time we'll have to do it a little bit later so Spoon can sleep in. Alright.
We'll move on. It'll be fine.
Yeah, Spoon will wake up. Seragyn's second one is the Evendo Waking Haven. It's actually a land. It's one of the new land types. They're called planets, which, of course, it enters tapped, adds a green, and I guess they don't call it crewing on a planet, or do they? I don't know. But
it's still stationing.
It's basically the same thing where you tap a creature to add to it, and once you get this to 12+, when you tap it for mana, you add an extra green for each creature you control.
Well, actually, you pay 1 green and tap it.
Yeah, pay 1 green, and then tap it, and then you add 1 for each creature. So that's obviously if you're doing like a bunch of like go wide tokeny shit, which green likes to do, you get a bunch of endless mana eventually.
So when I put this in, this one is kind of like, I think all of the station lands, the planets, are really quite good. Particularly this, the white one and the blue one. The white one lets you copy an enchantment or artifact after you station it for 12. And the blue one gives you 1 blue for each artifact you control.
Nice.
They're all really quite good, and I use this and the white one in my Silencia artifact deck that's been doing really well with the survivors, and station mechanics.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And again, I copy, like with the white one, copy removal mostly.
I'm only familiar with the black one because I've been trying it in a deck.
So the white one is 4 or 3 in 1 white. Tap it, and you create a copy of a target non-legendary enchantment
Jeez.
or artifact you control, and that token is legendary.
No. You still create
So
tokens
it's
of.
meant to keep you just so you can only create one of each one.
Yeah, but you could have, I guess,
But there's so
non-legendary
many.
artifact creatures, right? You could copy it if you wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like some of the spaceships are
I
not legendaries, right? So you can make copies of them.
yeah, I make copies of the spaceships. I make
Mm.
copies of again, all the auras, like the exile auras from white, all the enchantments, white aura sight. Um, this goes on. And the green one helps fund you with mana if you're playing those big stations because they can be a little bit expensive to get everything you need on the ground. So yeah, I just think they're really strong once you get them up and going. But you do have to invest in them.
Yeah. You
I
definitely have to
do
put
think
investment in them, but I think it's worth it, obviously, once you get to the
I
payoff.
do think, and I've seen a lot of people running it, and I can see why now. Stuff like demolition field is going to be really important.
Mm.
You can destroy the non-basic lands.
True. All right. So that's your number 2. Your number 1, the Endstone. It is a 7 of any, so it's a basically, I guess, colorless. They call it. It's colorless, neutral, whatever. It's a legendary artifact. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card. At the beginning of your end step, your life total becomes half your starting life total, rounded up. So at first I read this and I was like, man, that seems like it's going to kill you soon. But then Seragyn says, read the card, dumbass. And I realized that's not the case.
Yeah.
This is just
People are playing
ridiculous.
this in Death Shadow, by the way. So I hate this card.
Do you hate this card?
It is expensive, but I found some really nifty ways to cheat it out. Again, in that same my station deck, I'm using Kona Rescue BC to station something, and then you can play a permanent from your hand for free.
Oh, Jesus.
So I've gotten out as early as turn 3,
I could see putting this in a
and
Vivi deck. Vivi would love this.
while it does set your life total at 10, it does mean your opponent has to have 10 or more to actually kill you on their turn. So every single turn it resets. Um, the draw is phenomenal, especially if you're playing a deck where you can do stuff like play multiple lands,
Mm.
and you can just rack up cards, and it really gets you out of tight spots. I've had a lot of games where I'm really low in health, I'm about to die, put this out, and it stabilizes you because you're healing every turn. It also works with healing effects in those cases. Um, so yeah, I've just really enjoyed playing it. The times it loses, of course, is when inevitably when I get it out and I'm in a good spot, I will fucking flood
This seems
and
pretty
just
much.
draw land off of it.
It seems like once you get this out, that's pretty much GG. I would assume.
It's also really nice playing it with a bunch of cheap little things like Landwar Elves and all that.
Mm.
So you can just draw a lot of cards at once.
And tap them to keep playing the cards you draw.
Well, they have to have haste before I can do that.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I forgot about that.
But the next turn,
But still, that's
um,
pretty crazy.
yeah, it's something that at first, kind of like you, I thought, well, one, it's too expensive, and two, this sets you at 10. That's dangerous waters, right? But for a control deck that you really needs to draw into more control,
Mm-hmm.
this is perfect.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up crafting this at some point and try and get it in my Vivi just to be that guy. Because why
Yeah.
not?
I wish it wasn't legendary, but
Yeah. Alright, so that is the Endstone. Alright, so we're up to my 3. So my number 3 is Nova Hellkite. 3 any, 2 red. It's a dragon. He has flying haste. When this creature enters, it deals 1 damage to target creature an opponent controls. It's a 4/5, and it has warp, which is a new mechanic in the set. So for 2 any and a red, you cast this card from your hand for its warp cost. And then you exile it at the beginning of the next end step, and then you can recast it from exile later for its actual cost. So basically, I can play it for 3, haste him out, punch you in the face for 4, ping something for 1, he exiles. And then 2 turns later, I could play him for 5, punch you in the face for 4. Yeah, so you see the reason I picked this, because the mono red aggro players, I mean, this is just beautiful. Like, it's just beautiful. This is what they want.
I think it might be a little expensive for them on the top end.
But yeah, but for 3 a 4/5
But
place
for
haster.
3, the 4/5 flying haste does get you over those early blockers to push damage, right?
Yep, and the nice with the 1 ping, so I could, um, you know, basically send all, and if they're gonna make a trade, hopefully send the ping to the right one to, you know, facilitate a trade
Right,
or
right.
something, and yeah, like I said, the
There's a
5s.
couple of really good warp cards.
Yeah, like, this is a really neat mechanic. I'm finding, as you'll see coming up here, but yeah, I thought this was really neat. I actually might, and you don't even have to be playing aggro, right? A dragon deck. This is a nice in a dragon deck, even.
Yeah. There's also I've been playing the warp green enchantment, the new one that doubles the number of counters put on anything,
Mm.
and you warp it in for 1 green, and then you go to say station one of your planets or whatever, and you get double the amount of counters, so it makes it go much quicker.
Mm.
It's also really gross with stuff like Shaz's Chocobo. But yeah, I think that's a good push card, and not something mono red needed is more push.
No, it didn't. But like I said, it's a nice one, so that's why I picked them. Because, um, like I said, it's just solid.
Mm-hmm.
For aggro, dragons, what else? What else do you need? So leads us into my number 2 card.
I think we lost Spoonie.
We did. I'm assuming he will reconnect here in a minute. Well, he was having some issues with his mic or whatever, so we've got Starfield Shepherd, a 3 any, 2 white. It's a angel creature, and Spoon's back. But yeah, Starfield Shepherd, 3 any, 2 white, angel creature. It has flying, of course. When this creature enters, search your library for a basic plains card or a creature card with mana value 1 or less. Reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle. This also has the warp mechanic. So for 1 any and a white, in my opinion, like, that's just really nice to be able to turn 2, play this to fetch a land if you need it. And it's, like I said, it's a 3/2, so it's not a huge body as far as some of the other angels go out there, but like I said, I like the abilities of it. So, like I said, turn 2, you get the land, it exiles. Turn 5, you could, again, if you need another land for some reason, or white does have a decent amount of solid 1 mana creatures. A lot of the, hey, if when a creature enters, you gain a life type shit. Like, they have those types of creatures, so you can fetch one of them.
Even on the warp, he triggers those thing creatures.
Yeah, so you could, on turn 2, you could even fetch one if you wanted, or like I said, fetch one of those or a land, and then turn 5, again, fetch a tiny creature or a land. So I thought that was really nice. Like I said,
You
my
can also
findings,
warp him in,
yeah,
get your land, and station something with him before he goes away.
yeah, that's true. You can do a quick station and then He's done his job. He's stationed something, fetched to either a land or a creature, and then a couple more turns, and you'll see him again. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like I said, 3/2 part. It's not really about that. It's like I said, the text is what's the magic on him, in my opinion.
And I know for you, it's really
I hate being land screwed.
land screw is
Yes.
a huge problem.
It it annoys me to no end. So this really helps with that. And like I said, white does have a good amount of solid quality 1 mana creatures that you could tutor with this. So I mean, heck, you could even just, if you're playing a cheap deck, turn 2, grab one of those creatures, and maybe you never play him again for 5. Whatever.
Or maybe he's your backup in case there's a board wipe.
That's true. So that's my number 2. My number 1 is Infinite Guideline Station. It's a 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black, 1 red, 1 green. It's a legendary artifact spacecraft. Its abilities. So when Infinite Guideline Station enters, you create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token for each multicolored permanent you control. It is a spacecraft, so it has the station mechanic, which is 12 plus. When that happens, it becomes a flying 7/15, and whenever it attacks, you draw a card for each multicolored permanent you control. I put this as my number 1 because I thought it could be interesting because they did. So you can have this as a commander now. So legendary spacecraft, as of this set, can be commanders. I like experimenting with
Or vehicles.
yeah, or vehicles. I like experimenting with the 5-color stuff. So I'm like, you know what? And I know there's a lot of artifact stuff in this set. So, yeah, Spoon's having some technical difficulty. We did get to hear Spoon a little bit, so that's at least we got to hear him through his set. So that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Good thing we went with him first.
That's right. That's right. We didn't know, but yeah, I wanted to give this a shot, so I put it number 1 because I thought it was one of the more interesting possible commanders. I have not had a lot of luck playing it, but again, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And like I said, there's a lot of artifact stuff in this set, so I'm like, well, let's give it a shot. I know, and I can't remember the name of it. You might know the name, Seragyn. I think it's an enchantment that makes every one of your permanents every color.
Yes. It's a Leyline.
So I crafted one, and you're damn right that's in the deck with this. So when I do the games I've played that have been beautiful because I've been able to play this, get a decent amount of tokens, but then usually my opponent blows up my station and I lose. But
just Ultima new die.
Yeah. But for that brief second, I was like, yeah, and then.
But the thing is, too, in reality, you really only need him to go off once, right, to turn the tide.
Pretty much. But yeah, if you can get it to swing once and just fill your hand, you're good.
Yeah. It's a little bit like the station that once it hits 20, it's a 20/20 flying, and when you attack, you do 100 damage to a creature.
I saw that one. That's kind of silly.
I've won a lot of games just because I was able to station him and swing in for 20 and in the game.
20 is a lot. I mean, in Brawl, you only start at 25, so...
Right.
That's a 2 swings and done.
It's a good card.
And all the spacecraft
I haven't tried this guy yet. But I have tried a little bit of the stations as a commander and haven't had a huge amount of success with them yet.
I've had 0 success. I guess I'm going to keep chipping away at it. Cheap Slim's shameless plug. I do have the deck for this on my Discord right now, which...
Oh, check it out.
Link is below, I think, in the video. Or, you know what? No, it'll be in the description of the video, so you can check that out and see my list and help me with it or laugh at it, whatever. But,
no, I don't think he is standard playable at all.
No. Like I said, I'm tinkering around with it as a commander with honestly 0 success right now, but we'll get there. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of work that has to go into
Yeah.
building a deck that can use the stations.
Yeah, because I think
I think
part of
you
it
either have
is,
to go wide strategy or stuff
yeah,
where tapping it does something.
because I need like artifact creatures that are multicolored, right? Because like you said, I need to be able to tap them to station the thing. Because yeah, making a
But
bunch
what
of
if the artifacts?
hmm,
Just throw out a fucking Galta that's a 12/12 and instantly activate them.
that's true. That's true. But um, like I said, it's a work in progress. That's that list. But yeah, that's my number one, the Infinite Guideline Station. So
Yeah, I can see that.
so
It's going to be fun to play with, and I think these new mechanics
yes, the new mechanics
are
are really neat.
interesting.
They are neat.
Um, I do like the warp mechanics. I don't think they're overpowered currently. Most of the warp cards are decent for what they cost. Like they have decent effects,
Mm-hmm.
but being able to like play multiple spells in a turn because you were able to get it out cheaper, or if you get an effect earlier, does make them much more playable than some of these other late game cards.
Yeah.
Because then, like I said, you can play your dragon, swing in, hit, and then you have a backup for that. After that board wipe, you've got this tasted dragon waiting for you
Yeah.
to get enough mana to throw it out there.
That's true. And your opponent knows you have it, so they have to try to play around with it or play around it if they can,
Yeah,
which isn't always easy.
and
You know.
it helps you against stuff with like the hand disrupting decks. Okay, this guy's not going anywhere now.
So yeah, it's like I said, overall the set's been fun. I feel like the last set was a little more nuts than this one, but this one still feels solid and fun so far. Like I said, it's early. It's only been what, less than a week, I think. So
Yeah, I feel like this set is smaller.
yeah. Like I said, we did get the new mechanic. We got the new, I guess, archetype with the spacecraft thing with the crewing and
Which are more what vehicles should have always been,
yeah, and the fact that
because
now
the vehicle cost was always the barrier for them ever being used.
yeah, and now the vehicles can be your commanders, legendary vehicles,
Mhm.
spacecrafts, and other
But
vehicles.
what vehicle would you have as your commander? Which one's worth it?
I fucked if I know. I never really looked at them. Never even looked at them. I'd have to go back and take a look. Because actually, that might be an idea now too. Maybe pick a vehicle now that we can. Like I said.
And the stations as commanders, and I think this goes for a lot of commanders, you want one that does something like immediately.
Yes, there are a lot to do.
And the
like yours,
stations,
or no, not
well,
yours. There's I know there's another black one that I play. I think it's 5 cost, and your opponent immediately has to sacrifice a unit. I can't remember the name of it, but it impacts the board immediately. I play it for 5, even if I don't crew it. I still made them sacrifice something.
right. But what I'm saying is that's my one thing with the stations I don't really like is they don't have a lot of immediate effect.
Yeah, yeah. But to be fair, I think that's only also to balance because once you crew it, a lot of them have some really good effects.
And their stats are fucking ridiculous once they're
Yeah,
crewed.
I mean, obviously they all have flying because they're fucking spaceships. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
You get usually a giant flying menace.
2020 flying
Yeah,
fucker.
I mean, even Infinite God Station's a 715. Even the one you had on your list area was a 3/6. But when it attacks, if they
It's a
have no
310.
cards, it's going to hit them for an extra 3. So that's technically 6 attack. Technically.
Yeah.
So,
Potentially a 6 attack and discard a card.
yes. And like I said, it's a flyer again. So even if they have a bunch of little nerdlings or whatever, don't matter. It's zooming right over top. Punch in face. So,
And it's also got a big enough butt that it's hard to, like,
yeah.
yeah, you might be able to block that 3, but it's going to be able to go again and again.
Yeah. Or you can, if you need to use it to chump. Because most creatures aren't going to be able to kill it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, green has some that could, but for the most part, unless it has like death touch, you're just going to be able to chump forever until you get your whatever it is you're trying to do working. So,
But it is interesting that it's a bit of a slower set.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's because the
Like,
again, the crewing makes it slower, right? Because now
right.
I'm not attacking you. I'm gonna tap to crew because I
Yeah,
really
so it
need.
slows down a lot of the gameplay.
Yeah, which I'm okay with. I don't need lightning fast gameplay all the time. So, um,
Well, I hate games that are decided by like turn three.
yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun. I get, but I also don't want the game to go like 30 turns. But yeah, 3
I'm
turns
fine
is
with
not
that.
fun. So yeah, that's my top 3. Overall, like I said, see if you folks agree with our picks or disagree. You could push your comments down below the video. Let us know what you think. If you agree, disagree, what are your top 3? Let us know what your top 3 are. We would want to see what you're thinking.
And we promise we'll pretend to care this time.
Yeah, Seragyn will actually. He might actually care. He might actually care. I will care. Seragyn might care. Spoon's probably somewhere in the middle. He can't speak right now because his mic's all jacked up. So,
Thank God. Oh, what? Sorry.
yeah. Other than that, yeah, I guess that's all I got. Anything closing from you, Seragyn, before we.
I guess I would just say I had a particularly hard time picking a top 3 out of this one because I think there's so much new in this as
Yes,
far as like
I would
new
agree.
ways to do things
I would
that
agree. I
I
had like 2, I think. Yeah, even our discussions, I think I had 2 others that I'm like, ooh, I don't know if it's going to be these ones. Like, I had my original list, I think I had 2 other cards in it that I took out or something. Yeah, I trade. Like,
Mhm.
I was like, So, which I guess is a good problem to have, right? That it's the cards
Yeah,
are
yeah.
good, and you're like, ooh, I don't know which ones to put in here, you know? So, good
Yeah,
problem to have.
very much.
So, all right, then appreciate you folks watching, and hopefully the audio is better on this one from Seragyn and Spoon. We did some stuff
I'm
behind
not
the
from
scenes.
Spoon.
Yeah, well, when Spoon was able to talk. Um, So we did some stuff behind the scenes. Hopefully that helped. Let me know about that as well. And then until the next set, which I think is what, in 2 months or whatever the hell they're gonna make another set. I don't know. Probably. Let's see, this dropped August, September. So probably what, October, November. They usually will have another set. So until then, we'll catch you folks later. Hope you'd enjoy it. Have a good one, folks. Bye.